What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today we're going to be doing our weekly review for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 3. This is going to be for Fear the Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 3, which is called TEOTWAWKI. Now, this episode for me is going to be a 7.8 out of 10. Now, the reason why I give this episode such a low rating as usual is because I feel like this episode, all we really get to see is our survivors get to know everybody at the ranch. We don't see too much else when it comes to our survivors and that type of deal. We see a few action sequences, like I really like the fight sequence between Nick and, well, not even a fight sequence really, but with Nick and Troy. I really like that. For the most part, I did enjoy this episode. The only thing I hated was around the middle. I didn't really like the stuff with Alicia. Yeah, I didn't really care about that, to be honest with you. I felt like that was a little filler, but still a decent, a decent block of the episode, I guess. But it didn't really do too much for the story. She just kind of shared some secrets, or not even secrets, really. And then you got the Jeff's walker head, which was crazy, as they're on drugs, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, anyway, so this is a pretty great, episode near the end, especially where we see the return of Daniel. So I'll talk about that real quick. Next weekend is going to be a Spanish episode, so we're obviously going to see how he got out of that wine cellar, how he got out of there, where Celia's old home. And, we're going to see what happened with that next week. So we're only going to catch up with our survivors most likely in episode 5. But seeing his return. Now, when he gave him the water, we didn't really see who gave him the water at first. I thought it was some random guy. Then you turn around, he turns his head, and it's Daniel. Oh man, I was so happy for that, because I kind of had a feeling he would show up at the end of this episode, so then episode 4 we can find out more about him, that type of deal. Well, we know who he is, but like what happened, that type of deal. And that is exactly how I thought they would do it, where we just kind of turn the camera and it's him, like that type of deal, like at the end of episode 3. I believe I said that in some of my videos too, leading up to this episode. He would probably show up at the end of episode 3, because that would make sense for episode 4, right? So, really amazing. And I love this. I love this stuff here. Now, we're going to have to find out next week what happened with him, but I am very happy, because I am very bummed about what happened to Travis. I am very bummed about it. Very, very. And you know what? Seeing, the stuff with Daniel coming back, I'm actually a little bit happier to see him now, because I'm so bummed about the Travis death. The Daniel stuff is probably going to make me feel a lot better, because I really thought that Travis was going to survive, but I guess not. So, yeah, so in terms of the beginning of the episode, that was okay. I felt that it didn't, I don't know, I felt like it wasn't necessary to really see, but I mean, I guess it was, but I don't know, I honestly don't, I feel like that was useless for the story, the beginning of the episode. Now, we had the stuff with also Strand almost getting thrown over, right? I kind of knew they weren't going to do it. Of course, they threw another guy over. It was a pretty brutal death as well, but I kind of knew that they wouldn't have Strand go over. That would have been so shocking if they had that, if they actually made that happen. But I kind of knew that they wouldn't, so that wasn't a big scene for me, because I don't know, I kind of knew that they weren't going to do that. But anyway, this Dante character, so what is up with him? We're going to do a whole video on him, I feel like, because I feel like he can be our Season 3 villain. I really think at least one of them. We haven't really gotten too many big villains in the show so far. I feel like he probably could be one of them. So we'll have to see, but yeah. Now, also the stuff with Alicia I talked about, not bad. The stuff at the ranch, we see how many guns they have, which was pretty awesome. I mean, that's pretty good, man. And we also have some other stuff here going on at the ranch. We have Nick. So he almost shoots Troy, right? And from the promo of this season, they had that scene, and I thought that he killed him. but it turns out he didn't. So I was really expecting Nick to kill him there. That was a scene, I'll admit. I actually believed that he was actually about to kill him there. But then it didn't happen, right? So obviously, I think that it's a good thing they kept him alive. I really do like the way, I don't like him, but I feel like I do also kind of like the way, though, that he's kind of blending into the story. We could see him maybe, I don't know, him and Madison, not relationship, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, a hate, you know, like, I feel like they're going somewhere where he's, like, gonna be, like, I don't know, maybe, like, a Shane type of thing, and we also find out that his eye is back, and they're also trying to figure out who took down the helicopter, which could be this new group of natives, so, we'll probably find out more of them throughout the next few episodes, right? So, Strand thought it was safe, but then they almost threw him over, so, yeah. Now they have him locked up. We'll have to see if Daniel will help him get out. We have a couple questions after this episode. Not too many, but a few. And also, I wonder if we're going to see Jake and Alicia get into a relationship. I feel like that's another discussion topic for this week that I will do. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really did. This episode was a fantastic one for me. I really enjoyed just everything that they did in this one. It was a really fantastic episode for me, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to write a comment, and please subscribe, and I will see you guys really soon for another video of Fear the Walking Dead. Peace.